Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. Milwaukee is on fire. Last night and early this morning, there was a police shooting, another police shooting, another black man killed by the police. Apparently, the police pulled over a suspicious vehicle, and when they pulled over the vehicle, two people fled the vehicle. One went east, the other one headed west. The police pursued the suspects. And apparently, according to the police, one of the suspects had a gun in his hand. So the police fired shots at that suspect, shooting him in the arm and in the chest, and they killed him. And when news of this police killing went out to the public, when they found out about this killing, they began to appear on the scene. They got into confrontations with the police, arguments with the police, and at some point the police left. So people began to burn down several businesses. And been a full scale riot, and there's been calls for calm. There's been calls for people to go home, and there's been calls for people to actually reach out to their relatives and encourage them not to participate in this rebellion. So I want to talk about this for a few minutes. So, according to the police, they had body cameras on at the time. And apparently there's video footage of this police killing. Now, if the police truly are accurate in their account, if they're saying that this suspect had a gun in his hand and that he posed some kind of threat to the police, then the police should release that video footage immediately. If they want to really calm down this situation, they need to release the evidence so that people can see it for themselves. If the people see that the shooting was justified, that will help ease some of the anger and the frustration that people see in the community. Because at this point, we don't have any reason to take the police word as valid. We don't have any reason to automatically believe anything that the police say. Because unfortunately, many police officers lie all the time. We had a case of Walter Scott in South Carolina. The police told us that this brother posed a threat. But when we saw the actual video footage, it became clear and obvious that that brother was just outright murdered by a cop. That the brother posed no threat, that the brother was actually running from the officer, and the brother was unarmed. And he was shot in the back multiple times, murdered live on camera. So I say release the tape if what you're saying is the truth. We had a situation in Chicago where the police said that this young man, Laquan McDonald, was threatening them and all this and that. When in fact the video footage revealed that the brother was walking past the police, away from the police, but yet they gunned this brother down, shooting him multiple times, killing him live on camera. And they sat on that videotape for almost a year from what I recall. So we can't trust a word that these police say. They lie all the time. Release the video footage. And I did a video a while ago talking about this, talking about the conditions that our people face, talking about police brutality, and talking about how we have a situation where any moment now, one of these rebellions could erupt. And as I said, it wasn't like a prediction, like being a psychic or anything like that, or anything, spooky. It's just a matter of looking at the signs, much like how a weatherman looks at the signs in the weather, much how you can look at the clouds in the sky and see that there is cloudy, that the clouds are dark. You know that it's about to rain. And that's what I see in these black communities. When we see over and over again our people being killed by these police, shot and killed in these streets. And too often these police are not indicted for anything. And when they are indicted, they often walk, they often get off. And often these police, they don't participate in any kind of real sincere investigation of police misconduct. They take it as a joke. They don't investigate their own. They don't hold their own accountable. So when you have a climate of injustice, that breeds the anger and the frustration. And all you need is a spark. Like Malcolm X has talked about. You have all these explosive ingredients, and all you need is one spark to set things off. And that's what happened last night in Milwaukee. The people have had enough. They're not going to listen to these preachers preaching to them about being calm and being collected. They're not going to listen to these responsible Negroes telling them not to march, not to demonstrate, not to even engage in these kinds of acts of rebellion, because the people have lost hope in the process. If you want the people to have hope, the police department must be transparent in their investigation. They need to release that tape immediately. See, these police, they talk about these body cameras, all these laws around the country where they're allowing body cameras. But on the other hand, despite having these body cameras, often many of these jurisdictions are not required to release the footage of these killings and stuff. So the body cameras become completely useless if the public doesn't have access to them. Just like that shooting in Chicago, where this brother was shot down and killed by the police, shot in the back. The police had video footage of everything under the sun that day. Everything that they could use to paint this young black man as some kind of evil person. But when it actually came down to the actual shooting, they didn't have that footage. They conveniently did not have that footage. And just like the Corinne Gaines case here in Maryland, according to many people, the SWAT personnel, they actually had cameras on their helmet. According to the pictures, it looks like they may have had cameras. And they didn't have any video footage of the shooting of Corinne Gaines. None at all. And the sister had her own camera as well. And I wonder if they deleted any kind of footage that she may have captured. You know, they already deactivated her social media. So yeah, when you have a lack of transparency and a lack of justice, then eventually people are just going to have enough. Eventually, when the courts keep letting these damn killers walk away and get away with killing black people, the people are going to have enough. They're going to lose hope in the criminal justice system. They're going to lose hope in these traditional civil rights organizations. They're going to lose complete faith in the police because the police are supposed to protect and serve, and instead they kill black people regularly. Instead, they try to serve the role as judge, jury, and executioner. So yeah, you're going to have more of these kind of rebellions if this stuff continues. If it continues. And sadly, I don't see anything in sight, any kind of material plan to really end police brutality in this nation. Often, it takes the killing of a black man, it takes rebellions and stuff like that to finally get the attention of the Justice Department. It takes all of that to finally get the Justice Department to conduct an investigation and to reach some kind of agreement with these jurisdictions. In the meanwhile, towns are turned upside down. In the meanwhile, there's racial tension. In the meanwhile, buildings burn and people die. So those are just my thoughts about this situation. I don't think this is the end of it. I just think that we're seeing the beginning of more of these types of rebellions around the country. Just like in the 60s, every other summer and every other day, there was a new rebellion around the country. And it's a shame that after all this quote unquote progress, that we are still in the same situation where people still feel voiceless and powerless. As King said, riots are the language of the unheard. Those people that are oppressed and they can't get their voices heard in the traditional areas or venues like politics or whatever. So they take to the streets. It's a shame that with all these black elected officials, with all this appearance of progress, we're still in a situation where people still don't feel like they have a voice in this society. We still live in a world where people, black people, are still killed by these police all these years later. I'm just afraid that Milwaukee is not going to be the only city that's on fire. There will probably be more Milwaukees. Just like I said in one of my other videos, there's going to be more Fergusons and more Baltimores if this problem is not adequately addressed by the governments, by these local governments. And we have to do our part as citizens. If you have the energy to tear down things and burn buildings, then why not focus your energy on using the electoral process as well to vote out these mayors that put in police chiefs that don't address the problem of police brutality? Why not exercise your power to vote to actually take out the prosecutors that don't prosecute these police brutality cases? Why not use your vote to support those like Marilyn Mosby here in Maryland, in Baltimore, who actually have the courage to pursue these police when they commit misconduct and police brutality? We need to exercise our vote because that can be more effective in the long run than actually burning a building. But I understand the rage. I truly do. But instead of throwing a brick through a window and igniting some flames, why don't you go register to vote and make a difference in your community? That's what we have to do. We have to make a real difference in our community. We have to seize the power that's in our own hands. These police, and these people that are against us, they take things like this and they use them to attack our people. This becomes a justification for them to bring in the National Guard. This becomes a justification for them to shoot more black people. I understand the rage, but we need to exercise all of our options and use all tools that are available to us to make a difference. So those are my thoughts about this situation. Tell me what you think. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. And if you like the content on this channel, feel free to share my videos with others, with your friends and family. And before I go, I just want to remind people again, tomorrow I will be having a Google Hangout, and I hope you can join me. That's tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the subject will be this whole movement called Black Women Going Their Own Way. So I hope to see you there. Peace.